everybody. This is lecture for topic 9. Okay, this topic is about responsibility center. I hope you can still remember. You have seen or learned about responsibility center in topic 7, if I'm not mistaken. So responsibility center, there are 3 types of responsibility center. Responsibility center can be a department or a branch or a division or something like that. But in overall, responsibility center can be divided into 3 types. You have seen this in the previous slide also, in the topic 7, I think. So the first type of responsibility center is the cost center, and then the second one is the profit center, and then the third one is investment center. Cost center is a responsibility center that has responsibility over cost only. Profit center is a center that is responsible or has control over revenue and expenses. Investment center has control over revenue, expenses, and investment. Okay, so now this topic is about how to evaluate the performance of the responsibility center. When you evaluate the performance of the responsibility center, it also means that you evaluate the performance of the manager or of these centers. Let's say there is a responsibility center. The responsibility center is a production department. So if you want to evaluate the performance of the production department, it also means that you are evaluating the performance of the manager of that department. If the department is good, then you can say that the manager is good, because the manager is the person who is responsible for the production department. Okay, there are many types of performance evaluation method. In this topic, you will learn about 2 types of performance evaluation method. Okay, the first one is called the ROI, or return on investment. You use this method to know whether this responsibility center and its manager is performing well or not well. The second method that you will learn in this topic is the residual income. Using this method, you also can evaluate the performance of responsibility center and its manager. Okay, let's see the ROI first. Okay, the way to use ROI to evaluate the performance of a responsibility center or its manager is using this formula. ROI equal to net operating income divided by average operating asset. Okay, net operating income is the profit. To be exact, the net operating income is the income before interest and taxes. Okay, see the green box there. And then average operating asset. What it means by average operating asset? You know the definition of assets. Assets are cash, account receivable, inventory, plant and equipment, and other productive asset. Average operating asset means the beginning balance of asset at the beginning of the year plus the ending balance of asset or the total asset at the end of the year divided by 2. That is why we call it average. average operating asset, beginning asset plus ending asset divided by 2. Okay, let's see. This is a simple example. Regal company reports the following. The first one is net operating income or profit is 30,000, average operating asset is 200,000, and sales 500,000. So how to calculate ROI? ROI equal to net operating income divided by the average operating asset. So 30,000 divided by 200,000 equal to 15%. So using ROI, we know that this company ROI is 15%. So the higher the ROI, we can say that the better the performance of the company. In this sample question, the average operating assets are given one number. In other questions, maybe you will be given beginning balance of asset and ending balance of asset. So you have to know how to calculate the average operating asset. Another way to calculate the ROI is using this formula. ROI also can be calculated as ROI equal to margin times turnover. It is actually the same number, but you can use this. You can calculate the ROI by using two financial ratios, margin ratio and turnover ratio. So sometimes the question will give you two ratios, and then the question asks you to calculate ROI. So you have to know ROI equal to margin ratio times turnover ratio. So margin ratio or margin is equal to net operating income or profit divided by sales. Turnover equal to sales divided by or average operating assets. So if you multiply multiply these two ratios, you will get the ROI. Okay, this is an example how you can calculate the ROI using the two ratios. So ROI equal to 30,000 divided by 500,000 times 500,000 divided by 200,000. So you will get the same results, 15%. There is a purpose why you should use these two ratios. You will see that in the next slide. So using these ratios, you can see the sales figure. Okay, so you know that if you know that the higher the ROI of a department or a company, we can say that the higher the ROI, the better the performance of the responsibility center. Lower ROI means lower performance. So if there are two responsibility centers, one center has 16% ROI, another one has 18% ROI. So the one with higher ROI is better in terms of performance. So if you see the way to calculate the ROI, you know that a responsibility center can improve its ROI by three ways. First, the center can improve ROI by increase the sales or revenue. Second is by reducing expenses, and third by reducing the asset. Okay, when the company the center increase sales, or reduce expenses, the profit will increase. So when the profit increase, the ROI will increase. And also, if the company can reduce the asset, then also the company or the center can improve the ROI. So if you are a manager in a department in the future, let's say you are a manager in finance department, for example, let's say. So we make another example. Let's say in the future you are a manager in an IT department, information technology department. So let's say your department and you are evaluated using ROI. So the general idea is, the higher the ROI, the better the performance. So how can you improve the ROI of your department and yourself? So you can use these 3 ways to improve the ROI. So let's see here. Another example, I think. Regal manager was able to increase sales to 600,000, which increased the net operating income to 42,000. There was no change in the average operating asset of the segment. So let's see what will happen to the ROI if the manager can increase the sales and operating income. So now, before this, the ROI of this company is 15%. Now after the company and the manager can increase the sales and profit, so let's see what will happen. So after the manager can increase the sales and profit, the new ROI is now 21%. There is an increase. So it shows that if you are a manager, or if there is a department or a center, if you want to increase the ROI, you can use the 3 ways mentioned in the previous slide. But there are several weaknesses of ROI. So okay, let's see the first one. In the absence of balanced scorecard, management may not know how to increase ROI. Okay, you will learn about balanced scorecard later in this topic. Managers often inherit many committed costs over which they have no control. So you have seen earlier, one of the way to increase the ROI is to reduce the cost. But sometimes if you are a manager in a department, the cost cannot be reduced anymore. You have to pay the cost anyway. So that is one thing that is weakness of the ROI. Some items like cost cannot be controlled. You cannot reduce the cost anymore. So number 3, the criticism is managers evaluated on ROI may reject profitable investment opportunities. Okay, the thing is like this. Let's say you are a manager in a department, and then now your ROI is 21%. So you know that the higher the ROI, the better people see your performance and your department performance. So if there is an opportunity to do a new project or to produce a new product, but the project or product has ROI of less than 21%, then you as a manager will not accept the new project, because if you accept the new project, your current ROI will decrease. So that is the way how ROI sometimes may cause managers to reject new investment or project opportunities. So let's see. This is an example. As division manager of Winston Incorporated, your compensation package includes a salary plus bonus based on your division ROI. The higher the ROI, the bigger your bonus. So this is always happen. If you work as a manager, you will be evaluated using the ROI, and then if your performance is good, the company will pay you more. They will increase your salary, they will give you bonus, etc. But if your performance is decreasing, then you will get less bonus, maybe no salary increment, etc. So let's see here, a division manager, as a division manager at Winston Incorporated, so your compensation is based on the ROI. And then the second point is the company requires an ROI of 15% on all new investment. Your division has been producing an ROI of 30%. You have an opportunity to invest in a new project that will reduce ROI of 25%. That will produce ROI of 25%. As a division manager, will you invest in this project? You will not, because you are now having 30% ROI. The new project is 25%. If you take the project or investment, your department ROI will decrease. See the slide here. As division manager, I wouldn't invest in that project because it will lower my pay. When the ROI decrease, your salary and bonus maybe will decrease too. So this is the weakness of one of the weakness of ROI. Okay, now this is the second method that can be used to evaluate the performance of a responsibility center or a department or the manager of that department. So this is the second one, the second method. The second method is called residual income. Residual income means the net operating income above some minimum return on operating assets. So let's see, there is an example. This is easy. Okay, this is an example. A division manager of Zephyr Incorporated has average operating asset of 100,000 and is required to earn a return of 20% of this asset. In the current period, the division earns 30,000. So if you use residual income method, then you have to set required return of investment. Required return on investment. In this example, there is a division or department in a company called Zephyr. The required rate of return is 20%. That is the rate that is set by the company. So the company has set a rate. In this example, the rate is 20%. In the current period, the division earns or profit 30,000. So let's see how to calculate the residual income. So to calculate the residual income, you have to follow two steps. The first one is you have to calculate the required income. So the required income, the calculation is in the yellow box. You have to show the operating asset. In this example, the operating asset is 100,000, and then you multiply that with the required rate of return. In the example, the required rate of return is 20%. So the required income is 20,000. And then the second step is you calculate the residual income. How to calculate the residual income? You have to show the actual income, and then minus the required income. Then you will get the residual income. So in this example, the residual income in the green box is 10,000. So using this method, the same principle applies. The higher the residual income, the better people see the performance of the center or manager or department. Let's say there are two departments. Department 1 residual income is 10,000. Department 2 residual income is 20,000. So the performance of Department 2 is seen as better than the Department 1. Okay, let's say this example. You will see later that residual income method maybe is better than the ROI method. Okay, later. Let's see. Redmond Awnings, a division of Red Up Corporation, has a net operating income of 60,000 and average operating asset of 300,000. The required rate of return for the company is 15%. And what is the division's ROI? Okay, I think this sample question combines not combine. This sample question will show you how to use both how to use two methods, the ROI and RI, to evaluate the performance of this division, and then you will see why RI maybe a bit better than the ROI. Okay, let's see. So the question is asks you, what is the division's ROI? So you have seen how to calculate the ROI. So ROI is net operating income divided by average operating assets. So 60,000 divided by 300,000. So the ROI is 20%. Okay, next thing. Redmond Awnings, a division of Red Up Corporation, has net operating income 60,000, average operating asset 300,000. If the manager of the division is evaluated based on ROI, will she want to make an investment of 100,000 that will generate in additional net operating income of 18,000 per year? What do you think? The basic idea is, if the new project has ROI higher than the current ROI of the department, then the manager will accept the new project. Okay, for this situation, the new project ROI is 78,000. Sorry. For this situation, if the manager accept the new investment, the new ROI will be 19.5%. Okay, why the new ROI is 19.5%? If the manager accept the new investment, the way to calculate the ROI is like this. The current profit is 60,000. If she accept the new investment, she will get additional 18,000. So the new profit is 78,000 divided by the average asset is equal to 300,000, the current asset, the asset that the department has now, and plus 100,000, the asset that the department will get if the department do the new investment. So the new average asset is 400,000. So the new ROI is 19.5%. So the new ROI after accepting the investment is lower than the current ROI of 20% for the department. So if the manager logically will not accept the new investment. This one shows that if a company uses ROI to evaluate the performance of a manager or a department or a division, maybe it will cause the manager of that department or division reject new investment, maybe. Okay, but there's a way to solve that problem. To solve that problem, the company can use the RI. Companies, okay, let's see here. The company's required rate of return is 15%. Will the company want the manager of the department owning division to make an investment of 100,000 that will generate additional net operating income of 18,000 per year? Okay, let's see. Okay, if RI is used, and then the answer is here, required rate of return is 15%. If the required rate of return 15%, then the ROI is 18,000 divided by 100,000. The return on investment exceeds the minimum requirement rate of return. Okay. Let's see the next one. Redmond Awnings, a division of RedUp Corporation, has a net operating income 60,000, average operating asset 300,000. The required rate of return of the company is 15%. What is the division residual income? So, okay, now the question shows you how to calculate the residual income for this scenario. So, easy, follow the two steps. Okay, net operating income is 60,000. Required rate of return is 45,000. So the residual income is 15,000. If the manager of the Redmond Awnings division is evaluated based on residual income, will she want to make the investment? Will she want to make an investment of 100,000 that will generate additional net operating income of 18,000 per year? Okay, let's see. You have to compare the RI before the investment and RI after the investment. The answer may be yes, because let's see. Net operating income or profit becomes 78,000. Required rate of return is 15% times 400,000. So it is 16,000. So residual income is 18,000. This is an increase of 3,000 in the residual income. Okay, before the investment, what is the residual income? Okay, this is the residual income before investment, 15,000. If the business or the division manager accept the new investment, then the residual income will increase to 18,000. So the manager will say yes. So let's see, have you seen that the difference? If the company uses ROI to evaluate performance, the manager will likely to say no for this new investment. But if the company uses RI to evaluate performance, maybe the manager will say yes, because using RI, it will show that the performance of the division is better after the investment compared to the before investment. So this is a good thing about the residual income method. Residual income method encourages managers to make profitable investment that will be rejected by managers using ROI. So okay, this is the first half of this topic. So in this lecture 1, I have explained to you about two methods that can be used to evaluate a division or a department, and also to evaluate the performance of the manager of that division and departments. Okay, the method that can be used is ROI and RI. ROI has one main weakness. Okay, the weakness is sometimes it may cause a manager to reject new investment sometimes. The good news is you can use RI, the second method. The second method is maybe better. The second method, which is the RI, does not cause a manager to reject new investment. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. You can communicate with me in the comment section.